Chapter 035 Encountering Fang Xianxia again. There were a total of 108 true disciples of the Yuhua sect, each occupying a picturesque mountain peak where celestial energy converged, and taking charge of all affairs on their peak. Sometimes they would descend the mountain to teach outer and inner disciples, and select reliable confidants from among those ranks. True disciples wielded enormous power and possessed overwhelmingly formidable strength. Yet there were clear ranks among them. Among the 108 true disciples, one of the most powerful was none other than Hua Tiandu. Even in the cultivation world, he was addressed as Master Tiandu, and stood as an equal among grand elders of the 10 great immortal sects. He was also widely rumored to be the most promising genius to break through the 10th layer of supernatural powers and step into the secret realm of eternal life. His power was boundless, his Tao arts immeasurable. The Sentient Supreme Yang Rope had been his magic treasure from before he attained the Tao. Now that his supernatural powers had reached an extraordinary level, he no longer needed it, so he lent it to senior sister Mo. He planned for her to slay demon cult evildoers, earn the Enyan longevity pellet reward from the sect, and become one of his own after she rose to true disciple status. I sensed that something suddenly went wrong with the Sentient Supreme Yang Rope. I lost my mental connection to it, so I knew something had happened. Who took this pure Yang Supreme treasure? Hua Tiandu did not pay Yuan Jiankong any mind. His face turned icy cold, the air around him suddenly plummeted in temperature, and a thick layer of ice even formed over the ground. Most notably, senior sister Mo, several inner disciples, Prince Bao Wang of the Great Li Dynasty, and Lu Kang were all frozen solid inside a giant block of ice, each trapped in their own ice coffin that froze their bodily functions along with the poisonous souls within their bodies. Asterisk clack, clack, clack. Clack, 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 asterisk. Green light flickered around Yuan Jiankong's body, his teeth chattering non-stop. A bone-deep chill seeped into him, enough to freeze him solid. Even with his spiritual-grade ritual robe and cultivation at the body divine transformation realm, he could not endure the cold Hua Tiandu released with a casual wave of his hand. This showed just how terrifyingly powerful Hua Tiandu's supernatural powers were. Senior brother Hua's frosty profound vain art is enough to shock even gods and ghosts. If it hit me, I'm afraid even 10 spiritual ritual robes would not save me from being frozen to powder, my body shattered to pieces, Yuan Jiankong thought in shock. The frosty profound vain art was one of the 8 great supernatural powers of the Yuhua sect. Once unleashed, it brought bone-deep cold, froze heaven and earth and turned mighty rivers solid, its might extremely sharp and relentless. Now, when Hua Tiandu used this art, he did not seek to kill, but to save, by freezing the life force of these people. This showed that his mastery of the art had already reached a transcendent, perfectly polished state. Senior brother Hua, all our flying swords are gone, and Hong Fin Taizi is nowhere to be found. It must have been Hong Fin Taizi who stole all these spirit tools. My silver snake sword was also corrupted by the 6 desires Yin Thunder. I beg senior brother Hua to uphold justice for me. Yuan Jiankong cherished his silver snake sword deeply. I will take these people back to the sect first, and we can deal with the matter of the lost spirit tools and magic treasures later. Yuan Jiankong, I have told you many times, relying on spirit tools only boosts your destructive power, it does nothing for your own cultivation. Losing your silver snake sword may even be the chance you need to step into the secret realm of supernatural powers, Hua Tiandu said with a cold sneer, but the Sentient Supreme Yang Rope is no ordinary treasure. For someone to erase my spiritual imprint left within it in one strike is far beyond what Hong Fin Taizi is capable of. Even 10 of him could not do it. I suspect it was the work of an elder-level figure from the demon sect. I must return immediately to inform the sect elders and the supreme sect leader. You come back with me first, I will have an elder grant you a new flying sword. As he spoke, Hua Tiandu spread his 5 fingers. A mass of white cloud several mu in size descended from the sky, lifted all the frozen people up, and carried them into the air. He then stepped onto the cloud, and it drifted away slowly. This cloud was not a magic treasure. It was condensed from celestial cloud gas he directly summoned from the sky using his supernatural powers, forged into a formation with his divine power to carry him on his journey. This temporarily condensed cloud was even more formidable than most magic treasures. It was the great divine power of riding clouds and soaring through the skies. Yuan Jinkong hurried after the cloud, flying low along below it. A spirit tool-grade ritual robe could not allow one to fly very high. One could only glide at low altitude, and could not go too fast either. Otherwise, the strong celestial wind would blow away the protective barrier, cause one's divine energy to stagnate, and send one plummeting from the sky to certain death. Even when Fang Han rode a crane, he could not fly into the clouds, only soar below the cloud layer. Even then, Fang Han still had to hide among the crane fairy's feathers. Fang Han, how did you make Hong Fan Taizi's corpse disappear just like that? What kind of magic treasure do you have on you? Even treasure-grade tools cannot form their own cave heaven and open up an inner void. Unless you have a legendary Dao treasure on you. Only Dao treasure-grade magic treasures can hold an inner void. A gourd no bigger than your palm can hold all things in existence. After they landed on a sand dune, Hongyi Junju stared intently at Fang Han, trying to find some clue. She could not help but be shocked. After all, Fang Han had made Hong Fan Taizi's corpse vanish without a trace just moments before. That could only mean he carried a legendary Dao treasure on him. A Dao treasure. What did that mean? The Yuhua sect was a massive immortal sect with a history tens, even hundreds of times longer than most ordinary dynasties, yet it only owned a handful of Dao treasures to this day. The fewer people who know my secrets, the better. Knowing too much will do you no good at all, Junju, so it is best you do not ask any more questions. I have already erased the poisonous soul and senior sister Mo's blood spirit from the true blue sword. You can refine it with your blood now. Fang Han waved his hand gently, and a wisp of yellow spring water vapor emerged. He pulled the true blue sword out of it and handed it to Hongyi Junju. All right, I will not ask. Killing Lu Kang and taking these flying swords is already a huge secret. If the Yuhua sect elders find out, we will definitely be punished according to sect rules. Luckily no one saw what we did. When we go back, we can just say we were rescued, or that we escaped by luck. We can make up any story. The Yuhua sect will not investigate two low cultivation outer disciples in detail anyway. Hongyi Junju cut her finger with the sword's edge and dripped her blood onto the blade. Immediately, she felt a connection of flesh and blood with the sword. The yellow spring river water had washed away all the original blood spirit from the sword, leaving it a blank slate, as good as new. When Hongyi Junju dripped her blood on it, she established a solid mental connection with it. From then on, even if it stained others' blood when she killed, no one else could take it over by dripping their own blood to refine it. It was just like a blank sheet of paper. Once you drew your picture on it, no one else could draw over it. Only a master of the secret realm of supernatural powers could erase the original blood spirit and turn it back into a blank slate. After refining the true blue sword, Hongyi Junju was extremely satisfied. Let's go to Blue Moon City. Remember not to expose the flying sword, and that blood cotton demon robe you are wearing is far too eye-catching. You cannot let anyone see it. You are right, Fang Han said, taking off the blood cotton demon robe and storing it inside the yellow spring diagram. We will walk to Blue Moon City on foot. The blood cotton demon robe can only fly low anyway, cannot enter the clouds, and flying low over the ground would be spotted by powerful masters. The same goes for the crane. As soon as he finished speaking, the two broke into a run, stepping across the yellow sand and heading toward Blue Moon City in the heart of the desert. They walked for 3 straight days in the desert, and finally many oases appeared before them, along with a long river with blue skies and clear waters. Along the journey, Fang Han and Hongyi Junju sparred and practiced sword arts together every day. Fang Han felt his foundation had become far tougher, and he faintly sensed he was on the verge of breaking through to the spirit communication realm. This is the Blue Moon River. Follow it downstream and we will reach the Blue Moon Kingdom. But we have to be careful along the way. Desert bandits and demons from the underground abyss are besieging Blue Moon Kingdom. There must be large camps of bandits and demons along this stretch of the river, Hami Junju warned. Just as she finished speaking, a monstrous black cloud suddenly burst up from the Blue Moon River in the distance, shooting straight up into the sky like a war signal. Heavenly Wolf 7 killing smoke. Fang Han's heart skipped a beat. He quickly pulled Hami Junju down and they crouched low to the ground. Then he saw it. Around the black smoke column, a bolt of purple lightning coiled, like a clap of thunderous thunder. A blade light flashed out and cut the smoke column clean in two. Purple lightning thunder blade. That's Fang Qingxue. Fang Han's heart jumped violently.